Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Previously on Two Balls and a Mic.
And welcome to everybody who is joining here for the San Diego FC post-match show. My name is Tony Sanchez. We are going to go ahead and get things started with a small recap, instant reactions after a 1-1 draw between San Diego FC and Columbus Crew here at Snapdragon Stadium. The first goal scored by Oni Valakari to tie the game up in the 68th minute. Columbus Crew go down a man, and San Diego FC is unable to answer the call to win and take 3 points. Instead, they take the draw. 1-1, San Diego FC Columbus Crew. Thank you for joining us. Get involved. There is a phone number where you can go ahead and leave your thoughts, comments, your voicemails. Boom, right there. 619-752-4753, 619-752-4753. San Diego FC have tied. And yeah, as 619 Posse says, should have won that game. We're going to have direct from the source audio from head coach Mikey Varas in the post-match that we just had. Let's see if we can get some of that. Chiva is currently working on that along with Abe Cepeda. I'm gonna get some post-match sound, but we do have a voicemail that we'll get to as well. So go ahead and make sure you use that phone number 619-752-4753. A lot of disappointment across Snapdragon Stadium, at least for the majority of the fan base who was hoping to get a victory. First goal coming in after that red card. The game went from a tie that feels like a win to a tie that feels like a loss. Columbus Crew definitely doing their part of this tango, the 1-2-3, where Akivada said in the post-match press conference that this is the best possession team in the league that they just went up against. This is the now they face the two last MLS Cup champions in LA Galaxy, beating them in the home opener, now tying against Columbus Crew, a legacy team that plays very similar to the way San Diego FC also is able to go ahead and close spaces and invite the pressure as well. So a good matchup for San Diego FC, and really a match that should have been a win, as a lot of people have pointed out. Let's talk about it a little bit. Some things that we've learned is that Marcus Varston will more than likely get an MRI here tomorrow for his injury. Looked like it was a thigh injury. We're gonna go ahead and have more updates. We'll go ahead and update everybody and have some news more than likely here on Two Balls and a Mic on Monday. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. With our Two Balls and a Mic flagship podcast along with Chiva. And then we're going to welcome Craig Elston actually in studio for this upcoming Monday's episode. So leave your thoughts, leave your desires, leave what you thought in terms of this performance. No goal for Anders Dreyer. Had a couple chances, had one chance in the first half where he did hesitate a little bit and was unable to score or at least really get a shot on target. It was a moment where um, really there was a couple of moments in the first half where San Diego FC should have been able to tie it up after going down and going down because to be honest, they were exploited on the wings on the fullbacks. Mikey Varas deciding to go ahead and go with a hot hand with Bombino and Willie Kumado on the fullback positions, benching Lofelsend and Franco Negri. Franco Negri, who scored the goal last week against Real Salt Lake, that really put that momentum back into San Diego FC before the halftime, tying at 1-1, absent until the second half as a substitute. So we're going to go ahead and get into all of that. Let's get into a voicemail here. Ojalá que sirva esta madre. Here we go.
Hey, Tony. Chiva. This is your boy Jeff here. Well, we scored a goal. We did it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the W, but it's pretty awesome being in Frontera tonight, getting to sing with everybody, bounce around, dance around. I think the energy was fire, and look for getting that win in 2 weeks. All right, later.
Thank you, Jeff, for utilizing the San Diego Puto Football hotline here, 619-752-4753. You can leave your voicemail. You can leave your thoughts here until Monday as well. We'll play some on Two Balls and a Mic to go along with that as well. Looking over, and it looks like we do have some post-match press conference sound, courtesy of Alejandro El Chiva Villaseñor, who, tirelessly worked today. Shout out to Abe Cepeda on the videography side. And then we welcomed great and powerful at Young the Ryan, who also provided some fantastic images that we'll go ahead and upload to San Diego Punto Football and showcase here as well, of the sights, the sounds, the everything. But let's hear first from head coach Mikey Varas in this post-match press conference. Done well in that space in the first half to adjust, then better in the second half.
Columbus, I think, has been the top footballing team in North America over the last 2 years. Champions of MLS, well coached, disciplined. You can see they play by memory right now. So it was always going to be a tough task. We wanted press, and we just played against the best possession team in the league. So we also need to know that when our press gets broken or there's moments we don't have the ball, that we don't freak out. We deal with what the game is asking us to deal with. We always want to play with initiative, but sometimes you play against an opponent who takes that initiative away from you. I quite liked that the boys kept their composure. We went down a goal again. It was 2 games in a row. We were able to battle back in both games. This one, we didn't turn the game all the way back over. I think in the second half, it was quite simple. We had more intensity in our press. Like, we really believed in the press a bit more. So we put them under more pressure. And then the second thing was we had a better balance between playing in between lines and into feet and having players making opposite movements and finding the space in behind. And that was how to hurt Columbus today. Disorganize their back line, get in behind of them. And at the end of the day, that's what got us back in the game.
Coach, talk to me about first home goal in club history. Walk me through those emotions.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of firsts this season, to be honest with you. And I think this is a testament to the work that the boys have done. But I have no emotions to it because I'm disappointed that we tied the game. And I think if we would have won, I probably would feel a little bit more joy. But this ultimately feels like a disappointment for us. These guys are disappointed in the locker room, and I hope that goes a long way for everybody in San Diego because, we're 8-9 weeks in. as a club, and we just played against a top team, and we had them. We had the game to go for it, to get it, and we're disappointed that we didn't do it.
Coach Alejandro Sandio Football. What came to the decision to replacing your fullbacks, Lopez and Negri, and starting Bombino and Willie Camado tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're a club that believes in opportunity, one. Two, what we've said from the beginning is that winning or losing is not how we assess things. So it's not when we're winning, nothing is changing, and when we're losing, everything is changing. We focus on the performance of the team. We focus on the performance of the individuals. And when guys are in the good to elite range, they'll never be moved from the lineup. If you're below average to above average, there's a chance that your spot will be given an opportunity for someone else to take it. It's nothing drastic though. At the end of the day, it's a long season. So it's also about making your squad as big as possible. And when you're able to play multiple players, now we have two guys. We have four guys who have started games at that fullback position, and that's very important as well.
Coach, maybe a word to the fans. I know in the first game, like you're put in a position where you have to condemn the chance that happened. And could you speak on the energy that they brought today and how much more positive it was?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, San Diego is such a special place. The vibe in this city is extraordinary. And like I've said from the beginning, for me, this is a city that champions respect, love, compassion, and diversity. I've always felt it since I was a kid coming here. I think that's why I've been so drawn to the city and to the people. And I've made such great friends here. And just meeting and talking with all these so many individuals there, I could tell it was a goal. These kind of changes will take time to get 100%, but I think we made a really good step in the right direction. And at the end of the day, I know the reflection of the city and the people, the vast majority of the people of San Diego are 100% aligned with this idea of championing respect, love, compassion, and diversity.
Also in English.
Hey coach, 4 matches unbeaten. What have you seen from the team that you like, and what do you think needs to be improved upon to bring the team forward this season?
I really like that we've become a team very quickly. So I think when you watch us play, especially when our passing is on, it seems like the guys have played together longer than they have. I also like the fact that we have a lot of initiative in our game. So we've played 2 away games where we went and pressed and we wanted to control the possession. And we also we've played the last 2 MLS champions. And we haven't shrunken at the occasion. Those are 2 really good teams. So I really love our initiative, and then I love our team fight. Like, it's a team that you can see is always going for it. We weren't happy just getting to 1-1. We were going for more.
Profe, buenas noches, Elías, Televisión San Diego.
And we'll leave the Spanish right there, but yeah, good comments there by head coach Mikey Varas, who obviously gives the credit to face a very powerful, a good Columbus side that. Pre-game, I did kind of speak with a couple of people who have seen Columbus play, and regardless of who might be on the field, you have Diego Rossi out there, who is a fantastic individual. There's a lot of talent spread around Columbus, but Columbus is one of those legacy teams in MLS where it doesn't really matter who's out there. There's a philosophy to play the way that they do, and as Mikey Vadas mentioned it there, like, this is a team that excels in really having a team mentality and not really having it matter who's out there for them. They're going to go ahead and play a certain style, and that style actually matched up in a difficult way against Mikey Vadas' 4-3-3. Columbus with that 3-5-2 also gives enough press and gives spaces and invites the pressure as well. So you have this kind of game of chicken where both teams need the ball in order to go ahead and play and dictate how they want to go ahead and move forward. But Columbus did a much better job in the first 35 minutes, first 30 minutes as well to really quell that that offense and really closed all spaces for San Diego FC, because San Diego FC was not able to land a shot on goal. Obviously, with the chance that people are kind of paying attention to if or we're not, they're going to go ahead and happen. There wasn't a goal kick for the majority of the first half, if any. I don't know. We'll get all the stats here in a bit as well. But again, leave your voicemail, leave your thoughts here on Instagram, on Twitter, on X, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here. We're going to go ahead and start this project where post-match we're going to go ahead and have some thoughts as well. But Esteban earlier here says, interesting answer for the fullback decision. Not sure if I agree. Jasper and Franco added a better product when they were on the field. And so that's talking on both sides, right? Last game against Real Salt Lake, where they were starters and they were able to run amok and really kind of disrupt that back line for Real Salt Lake. And Negri, who gets on the end of a goal to go into the half, and Jesper Loffersen being able to go ahead and track up and down. And Willie Kumado, though, Kumado is a player that is going to be very explosive, and it was very apparent here. His crosses are fantastic, are amazing. He doesn't need to be on balance. He can go ahead and have the shot power to get it from one end to the other if he needs to change the face of the game, cambio de juego. But Willie Kumado is also almost not necessarily a liability on defense, but you lose a little bit of that defensive edge that Loffersen does provide, and that safety. So a great player. He needs a little bit more chemistry as well. But yeah, that's kind of a good answer there from head coach Mikey Varas. Let's listen to the answer to the trivia question: Who scored the first home goal for San Diego FC? And that name is number 8 for San Diego FC, Oni Valakari.
Tony Sanchez, under the football. Oni, you scored the first goal here at home for San Diego FC in its history. Can you take us through that moment of just turning their head? Was that supposed to be a free center, or it's just always intentional to go and find that back of the net for you?
During the week, we worked a lot on set pieces. We knew where the spaces are. We knew how they defend set pieces. We knew they're really space oriented, so we just have to make the correct runs. Everybody made the runs that they were supposed to do, and the ball just landed on my head. Happy that I could convert, and but the feeling that we have in the locker room, I think we were a little bit disappointed. It felt like two points lost. We tried to push for the second goal, but it didn't happen, and now we just recover and focus for us the next week.
Hi, I'm Alejandro Bezanio from the football. We spoke with Coach Mike Vadas, and he expressed that to earn minutes and to get a starting spot, you have to make an impact on the game. Getting an assist last week and now scoring the goal, do you feel like you've made a big enough impact to get a start soon?
Obviously, every player wants to play from the start. I think everybody on the bench deserves also to play from the start, but this is football. 11 players start. I think the 11 players that have been starting have been performing really well also. We have to remember it's a long season. A lot of things can happen, so everybody just has to be ready for their chance. And when you get the chance, you have to be able to make an impact, like Mikey said. And I think it's been a really good, positive feeling what I've been having. Even though I haven't been playing from the start, Mikey's been helping me a lot, telling me what to improve and what to work on. And hopefully, in the future, whenever I get the chance, if it's from the start or off the bench, I want to do my 110% and give my everything for the team.
Good evening, Tony Alvarez from Baja. Congratulations on your goal. What is the feeling that's right now feeling in the locker room? Because we on this side talk about how you guys made a pretty great strategy match against a very tough opponent. But what we've heard is we left 2 points. What is more, because you made it complicated on a very tough team, yet what we hear is that you wanted to.
Yeah. We want to be a special team. We want to be a team that fights for the championships, and these kind of games we have to turn them around. We don't want to be the team that plays nice football and is okay and win some games, lose some games. We want to every week perform. Every week get the 3 points. I think the fans here deserve it. I think we're good enough to do it. Obviously, we have to recognize Columbus is a really good team. I think it was a good football match. But now we just go back into the training week, be more ruthless in the chances we get, try to convert them. So these kind of games we can score 2, 3, 4 goals, smash the opponent, and go on to the next one.
Thank you. Oni, Elias, I was from Univision. So you made history today. When the people Google, oh, who made the first goal in Snapdragon, it's going to be you. What is the feeling when that means to you to make that goal tonight?
Yeah, like I said, it's always a nice feeling to score, help the team. If it's by goals, if it's by assist, if it's by a tackle, preventing a goal, whatever it takes, I want to help the team. Yeah, I would have been as happy if somebody else would have scored. So I think the main feeling we have is, like we spoke, a little bit disappointed. Drop 2 points at home, and at home we want to be a team that gets consistently 3 points. But yeah, overall, hopefully in the future also I can convert with goals and assist, and that's what I want to do with this team.
Oni Valakari, the first ever goal scorer at a home match for San Diego FC with that header. Chiva actually asked that question, Alejandro Villaseñor, in terms of head coach Mikey Varas, and you can find all of the full press conference on San Diego.Futbol's website and our socials. He went to go ahead and said that, yeah, like Oni, has been fighting, just chomping at the bit for his opportunity to really showcase what he's able to do. And he was able to contribute. And for Mikey Varas, if you perform well, if you actually take advantage of the chances that you're given, you're going to go ahead and get play time. And so that's what ended up being the deciding factor, I believe, for having Bombino out there, is playing his second MLS game. He debuted last week for his first MLS game ever. So that's impressive from him. And obviously Willy Camado coming out as a starter this game, but as a substitute in the last 2 games, really adds that added light dynamic and layer. People were asking for Alex Mighten, and what does Mikey Varas have against Alex Mighten? I don't know if there's anything against. It's just a player that they're going to go ahead and wait for the moment of it that the game needs a change of pace, and you saw it right there. Mikey Varas deciding to throw in Alex Mighten for his debut in the second half after the red card, and really opened up those spaces and try to take advantage. But ultimately, it was a situation where just they were unable to go break in and go into the last third. But that right there, Oni Valakari, the first ever goal scorer for San Diego FC at home in Snapdragon. And here's a great picture. Our fantastic foul at Young Orion. Just that moment. You can see right there the angle that he has to turn his head and his neck in order to make that turn. Really, really, really good technique as well. It could have looked like a recentro, like he was trying to make sure to create some chaos. But it does go in an angled kind of looping way right over the goalkeeper. But either way, a great goal here by Oni Valakari to tie the game up 1-1. And it seemed like that was the moment that the tide was going to go ahead and turn for San Diego FC in the second half, but it just never happened for San Diego FC. It looked like they were also having difficulty, even having a man up, because Columbus never gave up. Columbus was always being vertical. They were always moving forward. They were always pressing. Their best defense was their offense. And you can definitely see that they were able to go ahead and have a chance to even go up and win this game. There wasn't, obviously, aside from a couple of times where the goalkeeper was just lollygagging and time wasting, there were times where they were trying to go ahead and catch SDFC on the back foot and played quickly off the back, even being a man down, and move numbers forward. And it looked like they might get a lucky break with a set piece here and there. But fortunately for San Diego FC, that didn't happen. Let's go ahead and look some of these. Field conditions don't look promising for the season. Right now, it's not the best that it's going to look because there is still time for the grass to go ahead and take to the pitch and just have an opportunity to grow. Literally, like the timeline for the amount of games and usage that Snapdragon's already had after having literal monster trucks on that pitch, on that field, hasn't been that much. Heavy rain, heavy usage, but that's going to be a long-term thing to keep an eye on. Was able to get out of the parking lot in less than 5 minutes today and get home before 11 p.m. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, added security is fantastic. Now we get to listen to a post-match analysis by El Faitelson de Tijuana. Sick. Absolutely. That doesn't. Tampoco. Maybe. We'll see. Yes, the grass is growing in Escondido. There is acreage of grass fields from what we heard. Got to celebrate 3 times. Absolutely. So 2 of those times were called offsides. Anders Dreyer had an opportunity there as well, but ultimately it wasn't a goal. Referee decided nope, that is offsides. Putting the hand up for that. So a really good time out there for San Diego FC. Looking to move ahead into the standings on the Western Conference because as it stands right now, which let me tell you isn't bad at all because San Diego FC with a tie today, dropping, feeling like they could have won this game and had a chance to move up higher. They're currently in second place, right behind Vancouver, who has 12 points. Even with the victory today, that wouldn't have put them over into first place. But you see the table right here very early on. 4 games in San Diego, not being able to give their fan base a win here at home just yet, but not losing, still undefeated. San Diego FC is on pace to tie the all-time record for expansion teams and how long their undefeated streak is in the first seasons. That is 5. 5 is the magic number to tie, and then 6 is the magic number to beat for that mark and for that record as they currently stand. They're in second place ahead of St. Louis, who did beat Galaxy pretty handedly. You tied against that team in a good showing as well. Colorado somehow getting in there. They're not playing the best. They look like a liability to themselves. They have Zach, the Zach attack in goal, who is doing fantastically right there, who pretty much is the entire defense. And so former San Diego Loyal, Ollie Larraz, actually now play for Colorado once again. But yeah, and next you're going to go ahead and face Austin. Austin FC is going to be a very tough team away. And so that's another team that also presses, that utilizes their space, that has a set 9, a different player like Brandon Vasquez to really kind of change that pace, be that hold up, but also a creative force. And speaking of Marcus Invarson getting substituted out in the first at halftime, him going down with the only shot that he had in the matchup, and that's rather concerning because he and his sketchers weren't necessarily in a good position to see the goal. There wasn't a lot of opportunities there, but Marcus Invarson pulling up, just holding his thigh right there, going down in a heap. This is where the match ended. We'll get more updates as they come for Marcus Invarson. And the switch there was go ahead and switch Oni Valakari on, who ended up, being a game changer as well. I will say that Tomas Angel didn't seem to find himself in this matchup at all at any point. He seemed to be struggling, especially again in that first half where he was thrown over in the left wing almost to replace the Chucky Lozano position. But really, he kept drifting into the midfield. He kept being in places where he wasn't meant to be. Invarson as well, having to drop into the defensive midfield area to try to get the ball away from Columbus because they were playing so well and maintaining position of the ball so well. You see Invarson going and being a secondary third midfielder on defense to try to bring possession back and counterattack. But then Angel would float into the Invarson position, but not necessarily compensating or doing anything in there and linking up pretty well. So that's the big question right now. Had Chucky played today, would this have been different? More than likely. It's going to be a different gear where San Diego FC is going to go ahead and hit. We are a loss away from dropping down low in the standings, though. Absolutely. It's very early. It's a long season. And so again, for an expansion team, this is almost as good of a scenario as you can ask for. second place after 4 games, undefeated. You've had tough challenges away. You're proving that you can go away from home and get it done. And that's how you've been able to get victories. You come home and you kind of have that struggle where you do face good teams that kind of lock you up. And as the season progresses, more film will start coming out. But yeah, now 8 undefeated teams, or 5 now, in MLS. STFC is still one of those. Absolutely remain unbeaten, 2-0-2. Vancouver just beat Monterrey and Sergio Ramos. That's a different tournament. Any news on Chucky and Reyes? So Chucky Lozano, again, is mentioned as week to week. What does that mean? It's really just the measuring stick of how he's feeling this week. He is getting more tests. He is getting more MRIs as constant as possible, and just reevaluating. But the injury that he has, while not necessarily serious, is a nagging injury, something that he wasn't carrying over from PSV Eindhoven. But the hamstring injury is something that is pesky and tricky, especially at a player at his age, where that's just something that he's going to have to live with. Like, that's just an injury that he's going to have to move past and adapt in a lot of different ways. Does that mean that he's not going to have that burst of energy? 100%. In terms of Andres Reyes is just not fit. There you go. That's the situation. He is not match fit to go. The let alone full 90, sometimes 100 like today, but just not match fit. And so those are 2 players right there that are really going to define and help STFC potentially hit a different gear. But now you go ahead and go down Marcos Invarsen, who will more than likely be out. You're fortunate to keep Patty McNair in that lineup after a scary situation, him having to go out in the Salt Lake game. But this is now the first tests for the depth of San Diego FC and how they're going to go ahead and react. You do have depth in different aspects, right? Alvarado came in the second half as well to add a different layer. Aníbal Godoy has been tantamount and very important there in the midfield, along with Yepes Ferskov. But also you have Bombino. Bombino is somebody who now you can definitely trust. You can just throw him out there and you can trust that he's going to get the job done. There is a lot of maturing that he still has to do. There is some times that he's going to go ahead and be caught up and on some plays with some crafty players in this league, but he did well. He did very well considering the situation that he was in. Esteban says, honestly, Brandon Vasquez doesn't look that dangerous from watching Austin FC games in today's match versus LAFC. And I think that's just a matchup chemistry thing that he has to build and really find his space in this team. And so, I mean, if you really want to think about it, between him and Marcus Invarsen, it's almost the same thing. It's almost not having a striker for either one of those. They look decent in transition, but I feel like there's a lot of gaps where STFC can take advantage of. And that's exactly what Mikey Vadas was saying about his experience with this Columbus Crew team here, where you had to get behind those lines and really read between the lines and between the spaces, create spaces that aren't there in order to go ahead and hurt Columbus. And that's what hurt Columbus Crew tonight, was really being able to get one up and outsmart Columbus Crew, because they are a team that plays, as Vada said, almost by memory at this point. They know where to be. They have a telepathic communication with each other. And again, it's because they are this legacy team. They are a good team in MLS. So if the question is, well, this was the test, how did STFC do? They did well. They did well in this match. They're not happy with themselves. Valakari, Varas in the post game both said and echoed that they're not happy. And here we'll listen to winger / forward / striker / Colombian Tomas Angel on his experience throughout this matchup and what made it difficult for him coming in as a starter in this position. We're doing in Spanish first. ¿Dónde estás?
Tomás, gusto en saludarte, Carlos Melo de Televisión Univisión. Y partido complicado. ¿Qué representa para ustedes? Primer enfrentamiento, San Diego FC contra uno de los equipos, se puede decir que de mayor tradición, tiene mayor relevancia y sobre todo que hace poco fue campeón.
So asking there, you played against a team. What is the message that this team is sending against a team that is a legacy team in MLS? And what's back it up a little bit. What made this game complicated towards the end at the end of the game?
San Diego FC, hace poco fue campeón.
Bueno, no, yo creo que es un lindo reto. Como vos mismo lo decís, es la primera vez que nos enfrentamos. Sabíamos, como lo dije anteriormente, que era un rival duro, que jugaba muy bien con la pelota, pero que si se la quitábamos iban a sufrir porque no les gusta correr, no les gusta estar detrás de ella.
So really saying that, in order to go ahead and make sure that we play our game is that they can't have the ball. And it was difficult to get the ball off of Columbus because they don't like to run. Columbus doesn't like to run because that's just the team that they are. They want to go ahead and control the tempo. And for that, they need and require the ball. So it was a little bit difficult to do that.
Y como lo dije, nos tocó, sabíamos que teníamos que sufrir en algunos momentos.
And I knew we had to suffer in some of the moments.
Es inevitable con un equipo que juega bien con la pelota.
And that's inevitable because they play very well with the ball.
La verdad, sufrimos, obviamente, lástima el gol, que fue un error en la contra.
And shame on that goal because it was an error on our part.
Y bueno, pero como lo hemos hecho en el partido anterior también, nos supimos reponer.
And just like in the game before, we were able to come back and fix this, and then we dominated. I feel like from the halftime on, we were the ones that were dominating. Let's see, Chiva, did you include? All right, so we'll go ahead and leave that. We'll have the English version of what Tomas Angel said on Monday. Two Balls and a Mic every single Monday at 8 p.m. Check out Chiva and I. Craig Elston will actually be featured in this episode coming up here in person in studio. He will sit right there next to our buddy Octagol. Saw a lot of different empty seats tonight. Wonder why. I mean, this is it's a cold day in San Diego. There's a lot of reselling happening. It's not the first game. Not the first game. It'd be interesting if I see that amount of empty seats in the LAFC game that is coming up. Snapdragon is bigger than most MLS stadiums. It was still filled. Yeah, I mean, it filled up pretty well. Question: how is Manu doing? Manu is coming in. He's learning. He's sitting behind Yepes Verskov, and he's the ring general. He's the one that's going to go ahead and just dictate and show everybody the way that it's supposed to be done, the way it's supposed to be looked, the pace, the bas. Really the marching orders for this team. And so it's going to be difficult to see Manu starting. You're going to start to see him once Verskov really starts to take time off, because again, he's one of the only players that have played the entire 4 games. That's 4 times 9. That is 36. 90 plus 90 minutes of San Diego FC's existence. He's been there, so you'll start to see Manu do a little bit more once you do that. Got home quick. Yes, absolutely. As soon as I stopped speaking with Tomas Angel, Chiva, Abe stayed in the press box, uploaded these fantastic videos that you can all find on San Diego.Futbol's YouTube channel. Check out San Diego.Futbol, the website. Chiva had a preview, and he's been doing a couple write-ups there. You'll find a post-match write-up also by Abe Cepeda, who was doing a fantastic job on the camera. Let's see. John on Instagram says, "Saludos, compa. Hey, how's it going? Do you feel like Chucky's back next week?" It's going to be it's really difficult to tell, just because the injury is just a nagging injury where you have to be 100% that he can go in game, but any little effort that's too much, like if he goes over the mark of that red line of getting injured, it's going to be a long-term injury, and you're going to lose him now for a longer time, and then it's going to be a tear. that's going to take a longer time to recover. And you're disappointed that the chance was back, or did you see the progress and the fact that it was kind of fading off? Yeah, no, I mean progress. Yes, look, there was plenty of chances and times that I could have seen the chant coming in, and I was looking at Chiva next to me. I'm like, okay, here it comes. Like here's the first half. Here's a chance, and it's gonna happen. And fortunately, it didn't appear at that time, but there were chants towards the end twice clear that Chiva and I heard, but ultimately the referee decided there wasn't enough. There was the PA announcements, Anibal Godoy, head coach Mike Varas, Tom Penn, and the members of the Riptides and Mafue, just making that statement before. I think everything was done that you can do at this point now to be preemptive, to stop the chant. Disappointed. I mean, look, I think I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and it's a bigger discussion, a bigger picture. But at the end of the day, it's a team on and off the field. San Diego is a team on and off the field. If this does happen again, if this does somehow affect, it's just a matter of the people who are doing it are your teammates, and your teammate let you down. You can be let down by a teammate, the team loses. So hopefully that's something that kind of gets taken care of. But yeah, the stadium was still electric. The ultras were on fire. Absolutely. The supporter section, shout out to you guys, making San Diego proud. That was incredibly loud and really kind of making that section your own, and coming about it. Even more flags that aren't the required club sponsored SDFC official flags. Like, no, it's good to see things that aren't just sponsored by the team that way. Pods host at Petco right before the LAFC game. That'd be very cool. 2 rough games coming for SDFC. Too soon for predictions. We'll leave the predictions for Monday night on Two Balls and a Mic, because Abe, Chiva, and I have a bet going for this entire season. Whoever has the worst score in predictions between the 3 of us will have to walk from here in South Bay to Snapdragon Stadium with a ball on your feet, or just with the ball. So currently, I think I'm not doing so well. Abe actually got the correct score prediction at 1-1. But check in for those predictions here in a bit. The referee let a lot of stuff go. There was a moment where the referee seemed to have, an opportunity to make a correct call. There was an opportunity or two to really not get involved with the play, even like literally having the ball hit the referee and stop play. There was a moment too that, again, captured by the fantastic Senor Ryan at Younger Ryan. See if I can pull it up here. Boom, right there. Like, yep. What you gonna do, buddy? What you gonna do about it? There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. Some other fantastic images. We'll have a carousel here. Great picture. Peace. The shout out to Senor Ryan. That intensity that he brings, like every call that is argued, like that's why he's the captain. Like he gets to do that. He gets to be the one that's riled up in the face of the referee. Just okay. The reaction of people when they saw the offsides. But yeah, that's the referee let a lot of stuff go. Be careful on what you say, Tony. Some rando Twitter might say you're white again. Hey, it's all good. I sound like this for a reason. My name is Tony Sanchez. No soy Tony Sanchez. I can make it happen however you want. That was funny. Bad supporter section. The supporter section went off. Absolutely. The Dragon Ball Z banner is going to show up. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen some concepts of what the supporter section is planning on doing, but that'll have to wait for a later time, because right now I don't think the rigging is the best for those moments so far, but they'll have to figure that out. San Diego FC again tying 1-1 against Columbus Crew. Thank you for joining us here on the first ever post match on Two Balls at a Mic / Sandy Coputo Football. Ref getting in the way when STFC possessed, and it happens. It happens. I think you have to wear a jersey in the press box for the loser instead of walking. We might do that for San Diego Wave, actually. Might do that for San Diego Wave. Who do play tomorrow, guys. San Diego Wave season starts tomorrow as well. But all right, San Diego FC, again, second place, not bad for that. We're going to go ahead and definitely break down everything that has to do with this match and its highlights in its entirety Monday at 8 p.m. along with Alejandro El Chiva Villaseñor and myself. Let's get you some stats, some quick stats about this game. Is San Diego FC's XG was 1.95 and 2.93. 17 shots on target to the 6 of Columbus Crew. Shots on target 7-3. Big chances 4-1. The funny stat. Big chances. Touches in the opposition box 27-11. Possession ended up being in the favor of San Diego FC, especially after that red card, obviously. But in the first half, it wasn't necessarily that same situation. Passes completed very, very, very even. 476 to San Diego FC to 443 by Columbus Crew. Same thing on the pass accuracy. They were 86% pass accurate, STFC to 85 of Columbus Crew. 10-1 corners. And you can tell that Oni Valakari is going to be a weapon when it comes to corners as well. He seems to get behind the defenders very well. He has that altitude. He has that height to get up there. And, again, he just proved it with the technique and that location of the header, just spinning his head and getting the job done. And I can definitely see him getting some starting minutes, whether that's because Invarsen is out for a couple of weeks and they throw Tomas Angel once again in that 9. And then you throw in Alex Maitin or Emma Boateng on the wings as well. Bring in Oni Valakari perhaps at a starting position from there as well. But we'll see. Shout out, saludos, 18th Battalion. How's it going, Eddie? Season's greetings to you. Keeping it on Instagram. I feel like the goalkeeper was milking it, knowing it would come. Glad he got a yellow to stop it. Yeah, absolutely. No, Josue está bien pedo. Everybody who was inside of the supporters section again earned their stripes today. And there was a moment where it was argued by Columbus Crew that there was a chant and they were appealing to the referee and could have rightly had a situation on their hands where the San Diego FC crowd was gonna try to be a protagonist in this situation, but fortunately for them, it did not happen. Just a point of the match where I know that Anders Dreyer is gonna go ahead and want back is that first half where you see the sequence and he had a clear breakaway and a chance here. And he just wants to walk it in to the goal. And he's a lefty, and doesn't feel comfortable with his right. But this is a moment where you just have to go ahead and get it done with your right foot. You just have to see what happens. Because if you hit it with your left and you take too much time, it's going to be a corner anyways. If you hit it with your right, you can poke it maybe through the 5-hole on the sides. Don't have a lot of power behind it, because guess what? They already scouted you. They know you're a lefty. So he was waiting. Goalkeeper's waiting. And at the end of the day, you just kind of put yourself in a corner. You can see that the gears turning for Dreyer. Just, okay, I see him. I need to get around. Just a bit of a heavy touch, and tries to bring it back and set himself to open that foot up. And it's just way too close at that point. And Anders Dreyer is going to want that moment back. Could have definitely changed the game and gone into halftime 1-1. Yellow card thanks to the fans sitting behind the goal in the second half. Yeah, I mean they made him lose concentration, lose their head for that moment as well. But all right, we're coming to the close here of this first ever post-match show. Thank you everybody who has joined in here late night. La gente está anda peda, anda bien marihuana, pero aquí anda. And we thank you for doing that. Oh yeah, let me know if there is anything else. Going to sleep, need to wake up at 8 a.m. Mass tomorrow. Arriba, SDFC, hometown team. Let's go. Game, Jame, ha. All right, I like that. So, we're gonna keep this conversation going. We're gonna have more content. San Diego FC post match game write-ups, reviews. Chiva, Abe, and I will be here. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and close this down. Thank you, everybody who joined. This is cool. If you liked it, let me know. Share it to people. Tell people. Like this is. I saw a lot of people today that were like, "Wow, great job, great content." This is. Let's grow this because this is what I do. Chiva does. Abe does. We all do because we love this sport. We love representing it well. Try to at least. And we want to keep the conversation going. This is the people's pod. This is the people's outlet. This is the people's San Diego FC, San Diego Wave, San Diego soccer in San Diego lives through San Diego Football, and we're gonna get this done. Absolutely love it. You guys, San Diego Football, keep the good word. Looking forward to your coverage for tomorrow's match. Absolutely, San Diego Wave play against Angel City, LA versus SD. You love to see it. But with that, it's going to be a good night from me. Thank you. You can catch everything we do at San Diego.Football. That is San Diego.Football right there on Instagram, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, and everywhere else. Please let everybody know. Let the club that hey, we like this. We might do this in Snapdragon Stadium and not have everybody wait until I drive back. So there's going to be a way to do this at some point. But with that said, thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.